This is learning femur bone part 1. So femur bone, it is the longest and the strongest bone of a body. It is also known as the thigh bone. As all the typical bone, it also consists of an upper end, a shaft and a lower end. Now coming to its side determination. So this is the spherical head that should face medially. The anterior surface of the shaft should be cylindrical and therefore it should face forward. And this is the intercondylar fossa that should face posteriorly. Now coming to the features of the femur bone. So first of all, this is a globular head that should face forward and medially. And here comes the fovea capatis, which is the only surface in the head that is devoid of the articular cartilage or the hyaline cartilage. So now this is the neck. Neck consists of a superior border and an inferior border. This is the intertrochanteric line. This is again the cylindrical anterior surface of the shaft. There are two condyles located over here. This is the medial condyle, this is the lateral condyle, and here comes the patellar articulating surface. Now coming to posteriorly, this is the posterior surface of the femur bone. Now it consists of two trochanters. This is known as the greater trochanter. This is known as the lesser trochanter. Both of the trochanter are together joined by intertrochanteric crest. Now within this greater trochanter there is a fossa located over here, which is called as the trochanteric fossa. Here comes the most important tubercle, which is known as the quadrate tubercle. Here comes the gluteal tuberosity. Here is the spiral line. Now this is the most prominent line of the posterior surface of the femur, which is known as the linea aspera. Now linea aspera consists of two lips, a medial lip and a lateral lip. Now spiral line continues as the medial lip of the linea aspera, and then inferiorly it continues as the medial supracondylar line. Similarly, the gluteal tuberosity continues as the lateral lip of the linea aspera, and then inferiorly it continues as the lateral supracondylar line. Now these are the again two condyles, medial condyle and the lateral condyle. This is the popliteal articulating surface. This is the intercondylar line, and this is the intercondylar fossa. Now also there is one important tubercle located over the medial condyle, which is known as the adductor tubercle. Therefore, on the posterior surface of the femur, there are two tubercle and one tuberosity. This is the adductor tubercle. Here comes the quadrate tubercle, and here comes the gluteal tuberosity. So this was all about the features of the femur bone. Therefore, the femur bone consists of three borders such as medial border, a lateral border and a posterior border, and also five surfaces such as anterior surface, medial surface, lateral surface, a posterior surface and a popliteal surface. So this was all about the features of the femur bone. We'll learn about the attachments of the femur bone in next part.